I step out of the Uber and stare at Amberwood Estate, a huge vineyard mansion glowing like a diamond under the evening Napa Valley sky. My olive green gown, the one I saved for 3 months to buy, suddenly feels cheap against all this luxury. Through the giant windows, crystal chandeliers sparkle like stars. Champagne fountains glimmer under the last golden rays of sunset. A string quartet plays something classical that floats softly through the manicured gardens. My sister spent $240,000 on this perfect wedding, and not a single dollar hiding how much she can't stand me. I open my compact mirror and check my lipstick, mostly to buy time before walking in. My reflection shows what I practiced: calm, confident, unbothered. It's the face I've mastered after years of Brooke's little insults and big betrayals. "Claire, you finally made it." Brooke floats toward me in a cloud of white silk and expensive perfume. Her smile is bright, but it doesn't reach her eyes. At 29, my little sister has perfected the art of pretending, especially when there's an audience. "Everyone," she calls out to a nearby group of guests, her voice sweet but loud enough to draw attention. "This is my sister, Claire, my forever single sister." The guests chuckle politely. One older woman gives me a pitying smile that makes my stomach twist. "She's always been so focused on her career," Brooke adds in a fake whisper everyone can hear. "Some women just aren't built for love." I swallow the words burning in my throat and manage a smile. "Congratulations, Brooke. Everything looks beautiful." A hostess leads me to my seat, table 14, tucked beside the swinging kitchen doors where servers rush in and out. Every time they pass, they bump my chair, sending tiny ripples through my half-empty wine glass. I glance around the table, 3 other single guests who look just as uncomfortable as I feel, and Great Aunt Evelyn, whose hearing aid keeps squealing. "Still being too picky about men, dear?" Martha shouts across 3 tables. Tick-tock. I take a long sip of wine instead of replying. Across the room, Brooke sits glowing at the head table beside her new husband, Andrew. Our dad, Richard, avoids my eyes when I try to catch his gaze. Mom shoots me a quick apologetic look before glancing away. A server bumps my chair again, harder this time. I steady my glass and think back to teenage Brooke, the one who stole my prom date, Jason Miller, while our parents said, "Let her have this one, Claire. You know how she gets." And I did. I knew exactly how she always got everything she wanted. And how I was always expected to be the calm one, the one who steps aside, keeps the peace. During dinner, Brooke taps her crystal glass for attention and stands to give a toast. Her speech is a masterclass in fake affection. "To my big sister, my role model," she says sweetly, lifting her glass toward me. "Claire, who's so married to her career she forgot to find a husband." Laughter ripples through the crowd. I keep my smile fixed even though my cheeks ache. A woman at the next table whispers to her friend, just loud enough for me to hear, "Poor thing." Later, during cocktail hour, Andrew, investment banker, tennis player, and now my brother-in-law, spots me standing alone at the bar. He waves me over to meet his family. "This is Claire, Brooke's sister," he says. "She runs marketing for that tech company in Seattle." Before I can say anything, Brooke swoops in, looping her arm through his. "This is my sister," she announces proudly. "The family spinster." The group laughs awkwardly. An older woman pats my hand. "You still have time, dear," she says kindly. "My niece froze her eggs last year, maybe you should think about it." Others start offering advice, dating apps, mutual friends, nice single men. One woman even suggests, "You'd look softer in pink, dear." Olive green isn't helping. I nod and smile through all of it, the way I've learned to, the way I'm expected to. When it's time for family photos, the photographer calls for immediate family only and waves me to the side. I watch my parents stand proudly beside Brooke and Andrew, all of them glowing for the camera, while I stand off to the edge with the other guests, holding a glass of champagne I can't even taste. I slip away to the bathroom, lock myself in a stall, and press my forehead against the cool marble wall. I check my phone, it's only 8:30. The reception goes until midnight. I take off my heels and let the cold tile touch my feet. For a second, I think about leaving, calling an Uber back to my hotel, texting some excuse about a migraine. It would be so easy to walk away, to save myself from 4 more hours of this carefully planned humiliation. But that's exactly what she wants. That's exactly what she expects. I slip my heels back on and straighten my shoulders. Just 1 more hour, I tell myself. Then I'm out of here. I'm heading toward the restroom again when I hear Brooke's laughter, sharp and fake, coming from a small alcove near the reception hall. The sound freezes me in place. "Can you believe that dress?" her voice carries, even though she's pretending to whisper. She actually thinks olive is her color. She looks like a sad, dying plant. Her bridesmaids giggle, the same fake chorus I've heard all my life. "And wait till you see what I'm planning for the bouquet toss," Brooke adds, amused. "I'm going to throw it straight at her, then have the DJ say she's next." As if. My cheeks burn. I press myself against the wall, trying to disappear in the hallway's shadows. "You're evil," one bridesmaid laughs, but she sounds impressed, not offended. "I even made sure none of the cousins who actually like her are sitting near her," Brooke says proudly. "Did you see her at that reject table? Priceless." The sting deepens when the wedding planner walks by with a stack of place cards. I grab her arm before I can think. "Excuse me," I whisper. "Was there a change to the seating arrangements?" She glances around nervously. Her name tag says Rachel. "I'm not supposed to say anything," she murmurs, but she pulls out a discarded card from her folder. It reads, "Claire Morgan, Table 3. Elegant gold calligraphy. Right where my parents are seated. The bride asked for last-minute changes this morning," Rachel says softly, guilt flickering across her face. I nod and let her go, whispering a quick thanks as she hurries away. When I return to the reception, I see my mother laughing at something Andrew's father says. She catches my eye for a second, then quickly looks away. Around me, relatives I've known forever suddenly become fascinated by their champagne glasses when I pass. Brooke hasn't just changed the seating plan. She's conducting a full orchestra of humiliation. I slip outside through the French doors into the garden, taking in the cool night air mixed with the scent of roses and expensive perfume. My feet ache. My face hurts from all the fake smiling. I kick off my heels, ready to walk barefoot to the parking lot, when something shifts inside me. This isn't really about me. It's about her, her insecurity. The thought hits me clearly. Every cruel word, every public jab, they're not signs of strength. They're signs of weakness. For the first time tonight, I don't feel hurt. I feel sorry for her. I slide my feet back into my shoes. She won't get the satisfaction of watching me walk away. Not tonight. Act like you're with me. Go. The deep voice makes me jump. A man steps out from behind a trellis, his face half lit by the moon. I don't recognize him. He's tall, broad-shouldered, with dark hair slightly messy from the evening breeze. "Excuse me?" I take a cautious step back, clutching my small purse like it could protect me. "Ethan Cole," he says, holding out his hand. "Andrew's cousin, from Boston. And you're Claire, right? The sister your bride just spent the night humiliating." His bluntness stuns me. "I don't know what you're talking about." "I was having a smoke behind the rose garden," he says. "Heard your sister talking to some of Andrew's friends, bragging about how she's been isolating you all night." His voice hardens. "It was calculated. And you're telling me this because?" I ask, folding my arms. "Because no one deserves to be treated like that," he says simply. "Especially by family." Something about his honesty disarms me. Still, pride makes me lift my chin. "I don't need saving." He smiles slightly. "This isn't saving. It's justice." Big difference. He studies me for a moment. "Look, I'm not saying we should cause a scene. Just walk back in with me. Let people see you're not beaten down or alone. Small victories. I think about it. Leaving would be easier, safer. But the image of Brooke smiling when she realizes I ran out sparks something stubborn inside me. One condition, I say. Don't tell me you feel sorry for me. I've had enough pity for one night. Wouldn't dream of it, he says, and there's genuine respect in his eyes, something I haven't felt all evening. Ready? He asks, offering his arm. After a moment, I take it. His hand rests gently at the small of my back as we head toward the doors. The warmth of his touch steadies me in a way I didn't expect. We step back inside together. The change in the room is small but instant. Heads turn. Conversations pause. Brooke, standing near the gift table, freezes mid-sentence when she spots us. I feel the weight of it, this quiet rebellion. I'm trusting a stranger when trust doesn't come easy. I'm playing a game I never wanted to play. But the confused looks around us, the whispers, the subtle shift in how people see me, that's a victory. A small one. Costly, yes. But still a win. As Ethan leads me toward the bar, his presence steady beside me, I feel the first ripple of change among the guests. Maybe that's enough for tonight. When we return to table 14, his hand stays lightly at my back, grounding me as we move through clusters of Andrew's old college friends. Their curious eyes follow us. Claire. Brooke's voice cuts through the noise like glass. She stands in front of us, holding a champagne flute between perfectly manicured fingers. Her gown rustles as she shifts her weight. You two know each other, she says, her tone dripping with disbelief. How interesting. Her voice says interesting, but her eyes say how dare you. Ethan doesn't flinch. His hand stays firm against my back. We go way back, he says easily, his voice smooth and calm, like it's the most natural thing in the world. Claire just likes her privacy. I watch my sister's face change, quick, calculating, like an old computer trying to process new information. The story doesn't fit her usual script, and I can almost hear the gears grinding as she tries to adjust. Really? Brooke tilts her head, pearl earrings glinting under the chandelier. Funny, you've never mentioned Ethan before. She flashes him a tight smile. And you've never mentioned my sister. Some things don't need an announcement, Ethan says easily, pulling out my chair. I sit down, but Brooke leans closer, her perfume strong and sickly sweet. So, when exactly did you two meet? Before I can answer, the DJ's voice echoes through the speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, in 15 minutes we'll have a special bouquet toss for all the single ladies. He pauses for effect. Especially Claire Morgan. Where are you, Claire? Let's get you ready to catch that bouquet. A spotlight swings wildly until it lands on me. Guests turn, some smiling, others whispering. The heat of embarrassment crawls up my neck. Brooke straightens, looking smug, then glides off toward Andrew. My mother appears beside me, her silk dress the color of watered-down tea. Don't make a scene, dear, she whispers. It's her big day. After 33 years, I know the routine. Swallow the hurt. Keep the peace. Be reasonable. I won't, Mom. I say quietly, not looking up. Mom squeezes my shoulder and walks away. Your mother seems worried, Ethan murmurs. She always worries about the wrong things, I reply, surprising myself with how honest it sounds. Ethan leans in slightly. Tell me about your work in Seattle. Marketing, right? The question feels like a lifeline. For the next 10 minutes, we talk about digital campaigns and brand strategies. Ethan asks smart questions about audience targeting and trends. I tell him stories about stubborn clients and last-minute miracles. The conversation flows easily, no awkward pauses, no forced small talk. That analytics idea is brilliant, he says when I describe a project. Most firms still use outdated data. A woman in her 60s stops by, elegant with silver hair swept into a neat bun. Ethan, darling, she says warmly. Aren't you going to introduce me to your friend? Mrs. Collins, Ethan smiles. This is Claire Morgan. Claire, this is Eleanor Hathaway, she's on the board of the Westbrook Foundation with my father. I reach out to shake her hand, but she hugs me lightly instead. Any friend of Ethan's is a friend of mine, she says kindly, her eyes sparkling. How long have you two known each other? A test. Ethan and I reconnected recently, I say easily. Not exactly a lie, not exactly true. It was unexpected but perfect timing. Mrs. Collins pats my arm. The best things usually are, my dear. As she moves away, more people stop by, Andrew's relatives, then one of Ethan's college friends. With every introduction, my confidence grows. The story of us starts to feel real. Guests who had avoided me earlier now smile when they see me. Ethan's hand occasionally brushes mine, not in a flirtatious way, just enough to remind me I'm not alone. For the first time all evening, I realize something: I can change this story. I don't need Brooke's approval to do it. The DJ's voice cuts back in. It's time for the bouquet toss, ladies. All the single women, please come to the dance floor. The spotlight finds me again, this time on purpose. Conversations stop. Everyone watches to see what I'll do. I stand slowly, smoothing the skirt of my olive green dress. Ethan's eyes meet mine, silent but questioning. I'll be fine, I say, even though we both know it's a lie. The dance floor clears, leaving a half-circle of giggling women, mostly in their 20s. I stand slightly apart, aware of how out of place I look. Brooke takes her spot, bouquet raised high. Ready, ladies? The DJ calls. 1, 2. Brooke spins around suddenly, locking eyes with me. The smile that spreads across her face is sharp and cruel. She throws the bouquet, not toward the crowd, but straight at me. Before I can react, Ethan steps forward. With smooth, easy precision, he catches the bouquet inches from my face. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Brooke's mouth falls open. Ethan turns to me, holding the flowers out with a polite bow. They're your favorite, right? He says loud enough for others to hear. Peonies and garden roses. I take the bouquet, fighting the urge to laugh at Brooke's shocked face, that perfect mix of rage and disbelief. The crowd bursts into applause. Someone even whistles. The spotlight moves away, chasing the next distraction. 2 of my cousins appear, both smiling. Claire. We've been looking for you all night, says Olivia, the older one. Your table was so far off. Not anymore, says Emily, sliding into an empty chair beside me. So, tell us about Seattle. As we chat, I spot Andrew's grandmother, a stern woman in her 80s known for her brutal honesty, making her way toward us. She sits down across from me. So, you're Richard's older girl, she says, adjusting her hearing aid. About time someone in this family showed some sense. The wedding planner rushes over, flustered. Miss Donovan, she whispers, I've moved your place card to table 3 for dessert, with your parents. There was a mistake earlier. The original chart had you there. I nod, hiding a smile. Ethan greets 2 men in sleek suits. Claire, he says, these are my colleagues from Westbrook Capital. They've been talking about expanding their marketing in the Pacific Northwest. He looks at me with quiet pride. Claire's a brilliant strategist. Her last campaign for TechSync grew their market share by 22%. The men seem impressed. One hands me his card. For the first time tonight, my smile feels real. I'm not alone here. I never really was. The orchestra starts playing the first dance song. Ethan stands and offers his hand. May I? On the dance floor, his lead is confident but relaxed. We move easily, like we've danced together before. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Brooke watching from the edge, her smile fading as Andrew's relatives nod approvingly toward us. Halfway through the song, Brooke steps in, her white dress swishing dramatically. Mind if I borrow your date? she asks, not waiting for an answer as she places her hand on Ethan's shoulder. Ethan gently steps back, creating space between them. His voice carries just enough for nearby couples to hear. "You spent the whole evening embarrassing your sister," he says calmly. "Maybe let her enjoy this one dance." Gasps ripple around us. Andrew hurries over, cheeks flushed. "Brooke, honey, your father wants to talk to you," he says, taking her arm. Brooke's face tightens in frustration. She opens her mouth to argue, then remembers her audience. With effort, she forces a smile and lets Andrew lead her away. I stay where I am, tall, calm, breathing steady. I don't gloat. I don't need to. The music continues, couples start dancing again, but I notice the difference. The glances now hold sympathy, respect, curiosity, directed at me, not her. Later, over cake at table 3, Ethan and I fine-tune our story. We reconnected at a marketing conference in Chicago last month. We've been talking a lot since then. I say softly as my dad chats about golf with Andrew's uncle. It's new, but promising. I'm amazed at how easily you fit into all this chaos. Good partnerships are born under pressure, Ethan says with a small smile, scooping up a forkful of raspberry cake. I notice Andrew's relatives greeting me now, not just out of politeness, but with real interest. Then my mother, Diane, appears beside me, twisting her napkin between her fingers. "Claire," she starts. "I should have checked the seating plan. I just assumed." She stops mid-sentence, unable to finish. "It's okay, Mom," I say, though it really isn't. But this isn't the moment for that talk. The DJ's voice suddenly booms through the speakers. "All right, gentlemen, it's time for the garter toss. All the single men to the dance floor." Ethan squeezes my hand under the table. I guess that's my cue. He joins the group of unmarried men as Andrew sits on a chair in the middle of the floor, Sloane perched on his lap, laughing as he reaches under her dress for the garter. The men crowd closer, some pretending they don't care, others too eager to hide it. Ethan stands a little apart, calm, confident. When Andrew flings the garter, Ethan doesn't even move fast. He simply steps forward and catches it with quiet ease. The crowd cheers, and I know what's coming next. Tradition says the bouquet catcher and garter catcher have to dance, usually just for fun, but it's always a spectacle. Across the room, I see Sloane whispering urgently to the wedding planner, who looks increasingly uneasy. Then the spotlight swings toward me again. My heart jumps. I have only seconds to decide, hide or step forward. The DJ's voice cuts through the noise. "And now, let's bring our bouquet and garter winners together for a special dance." The light finds me, still frozen with the bouquet in hand. Across the dance floor, Ethan holds the garter, looking at me with a silent question. The crowd parts, forming a path between us. Sloane stands near the edge, her smile stretched so tight it looks painful. This is exactly what she wants, me on display, embarrassed, the punchline of a cruel little joke. I take a breath, lift my chin, and walk forward. The whispers quiet down. Ethan hesitates only for a second before stepping toward me and kneeling. My heart pounds as he looks up, his eyes warm and steady. "May I?" he asks quietly. I nod, adjusting my dress just enough. The whole room seems to hold its breath as he slips the garter gently above my ankle, nothing inappropriate, just graceful and quick. Somehow, he turns what could have been humiliating into something almost elegant. When he stands and offers his arm, I take it. We both bow slightly, like we've practiced it 100 times. The crowd bursts into applause, genuine this time, not pitying. Andrew's Aunt Diane, draped in pearls, gives me a small approving nod. A few women whisper to each other, eyes following me as Ethan leads me off the floor. "You handled that perfectly," he murmurs. "We handled it," I correct softly. Before the music can start again, Sloane's sharp voice cuts through the room. "Attention, everyone. I'd like to make a quick toast to my sister." The wedding planner frowns, flipping her clipboard. That's not on the program, she mutters, but Sloane's already grabbed a mic. You know, she begins with a tinkling laugh. Watching Claire catch that bouquet reminded me of all her past relationships. My stomach tightens. Remember Tom from college? He dumped her because she was, what was it, too focused on her career? Or Michael, who said she was too strict with her schedules? Or David, who called her emotionally unavailable? The crowd shifts uncomfortably. Sloane smiles wider. My sister has always been particular. But that's what makes her Claire, right? So here's to my sister, may she find someone someday who can truly handle her quirks. Dad laughs awkwardly, and Mom grips my hand under the table, a silent apology that's decades too late. Beside me, I feel Ethan tense, ready to step in. I touch his arm gently. No, I whisper. This one's mine. I stand, lift a champagne glass a server just poured, and face the room. Thank you, Sloane, for those kind words, I say evenly. My voice doesn't shake. You're right, I've had my share of relationships that didn't work out. That's how we learn what we deserve. I pause. To Sloane and Andrew, may your marriage reflect the kindness and respect you show others. There's a murmur through the crowd. Some guests smirk knowingly, others just nod politely. But the point lands exactly where I meant it to. Sloane's smile falters, just for a second, before she grabs Andrew's arm and laughs too loudly. Later, when Ethan and I are back on the dance floor, he says quietly, "That was amazing. You didn't let her drag you down. That takes strength." I think about that. It would have been easier to fight her, I admit. But not better. He tilts his head. So what's better? Standing my ground without turning into her, I say, the realization settling deep inside me. My power isn't in making her small, it's in refusing to play her game. The song ends, and before I can take another breath, Sloane appears again, her wedding gown rustling like paper. The photographer wants a few photos of just us sisters, she says, grabbing my arm. By the fountain. Now. I see the setup, away from the crowd, away from witnesses. But this isn't high school, and I'm not that scared kid anymore. Actually, I start, but she cuts me off. It's my wedding day, Claire. One photo won't kill you. People nearby stop pretending not to watch. Sloane's mask is cracking. Andrew steps in quickly. Honey, maybe we should go greet the Andersons, they've been waiting. In a minute, Sloane snaps. This is important. Then Mom appears, her voice calm but firm. Sloane, that's enough for tonight. Sloane freezes. Mom has never said no to her, not once. The shift in the room is subtle but powerful. The crowd's attention shifts too. Suddenly, two of Sloane's college friends come to ask me about Seattle. Andrew's mother invites me to the family brunch tomorrow. The wedding planner checks with me about the cake timing. Ethan stays close, quietly steady beside me. When he goes to get drinks, Sloane's maid of honor leans in to ask about my marketing firm. By the time he returns, I'm surrounded by people actually listening to me. Across the room, Sloane stands alone for the first time all night. Her perfect face is cracking, her makeup smudged. I see Andrew whispering to her, trying to calm her down. Then Mom walks up again, twisting her wedding ring. Claire, she says quietly. I should have spoken up sooner. Not just tonight, all these years. Before I can respond, Dad joins us, shifting uncomfortably. Your sister's just high-strung today, he mutters. But the excuse feels empty now. I glance at Sloane across the room, her white gown glowing under the lights, and for the first time, I really see her. Not as my tormentor, but as a woman terrified of being forgotten. Someone who fights to stay in the spotlight, even if it burns everyone else. And in that moment, I realize I'm free. The night slows down, soft and fading. Couples drift from the dance floor, shoes kicked off, laughter quieting. The air smells like champagne and leftover cake. I sit quietly, watching it all, when Sloane appears beside me again. Her voice is small, almost like the girl I used to know. Claire, she says softly. Let's just move on, okay? Family comes first, right? I study her face, that fake softness, that practiced little head tilt. The same act she's pulled on me 1,000 times before. We should talk, just us sisters. She touches my arm lightly. Girl talk. Andrew understands. Her words sound sweet but empty, like spun sugar, fragile and meaningless. Before I can say anything, Dad shows up beside her. Claire, honey, he says gently, clearing his throat. Maybe you two could smooth things over before the family photos? The photographer wants a few more of you girls together. Mom hovers behind him, eyes pleading. Just forgive her, she whispers. You know how she gets. I feel the same old pressure sink into my shoulders, the weight of always being the one who has to keep the peace. People at nearby tables are watching. I can feel their eyes, waiting. Will Claire cause a scene? Will she ruin Brooke's perfect night? 20 years of habit push me toward doing what's easiest. Then the wedding planner's voice cuts through the tension. Ladies and gentlemen, the last dance will begin in 5 minutes. Brooke's fingers tighten around my wrist. Come on, we need sister pictures before Ethan sweeps you away. Ethan. Just thinking of him calms me, but he's nowhere in sight. Across the room, Andrew's dad has him cornered in what looks like a serious business talk. He glances at me briefly, apologetic, before turning back. Perfect timing, Brooke says, following my gaze. Let's go while he's busy. She pulls me toward the photographer, who positions us under a backdrop of twinkling lights. Brooke wraps an arm around my waist, flashing her dazzling smile. Click. Another one, she orders. Closer this time. I feel myself slipping into the old pattern, accommodating, pleasing, disappearing. Then something inside me clicks. I'll take one picture, I say softly but firmly. Then I need to find my date. Her smile falters. But we've barely taken any sister photos. Last dance, everyone, the DJ announces loudly. I turn away mid-sentence, my heart racing. The crowd shifts as couples move toward the dance floor. For a moment, I stand there alone, unsure. Then Ethan appears, extending his hand like he's materialized out of thin air. May I? He asks. Relief floods through me. Yes. We walk to the dance floor as at last begins to play. Brooke tries to follow, but the crowd closes in, gently blocking her. From the corner of my eye, I see Andrew's grandmother, a sharp, no-nonsense woman in her 80s, stop Brooke with a firm hand and a serious look. Ethan's hand rests on my lower back, warm and steady. I saw her coming, he says softly. Figured you might want an exit plan. How did you know? I ask. He smiles, eyes crinkling. I've seen it before. My mom was the same with my aunt, always competing, always needing attention. His words surprise me. So this wasn't just chance? He shakes his head. I noticed how she treated you from the moment you arrived, the seating, the bouquet toss, all those subtle digs. Classic behavior of someone who feels better by putting others down. We spin slowly, the world blurring around us. I thought you were rescuing me, I admit. No, he says quietly. Not rescuing, teaming up. You already handled her with such grace. You just needed someone to see it. My throat tightens. All night I thought he was saving me, but he was actually standing beside me. That difference suddenly means everything. Look around, he says. The wedding videographer's camera lingers on us. An older couple watches, whispering and smiling. Andrew's relatives raise their glasses our way. Ethan adds, they saw the truth tonight, no performance needed. People can tell who's real. The song ends, and he walks me toward the coat check area. I grab my wrap, and there she is. Brooke. Her face tight with anger. You turned my wedding into your dating event, she spits, her voice low. The words hang in the air. My instinct is to apologize, my usual move since we were kids. But not this time. I meet her eyes calmly. No, Brooke. You turned your wedding into a showcase of who you really are. I don't yell. I don't argue. I just tell the truth I've been holding in for years. Her face turns red. She starts to speak, but Ethan appears with my coat over his arm. Ready to go, Claire? He asks. Brooke looks between us, something flickering in her eyes, then turns and walks away. Outside, string lights line the walkway. Our breath fogs in the cold night air. Ethan walks me to my car, our footsteps crunching on gravel as sparklers light up behind us. Was this just about surviving tonight? He asks softly. I pause, thinking. Behind us, laughter and music spill from the hall. The night feels open. Hopeful. I don't know, I say at last. Maybe it's about starting something real. I look up at him, and for once, I don't feel like running. 3 months later. I stand by the window of my Seattle apartment, phone to my ear, watching the sunset fade into indigo. The Space Needle glows in the distance. I booked that waterfront place you like for tomorrow, Mom says gently. Unless you'd rather somewhere else? That's perfect, I reply, letting the silence stretch comfortably. I've been talking about things in therapy, she continues, voice trembling a little. About Brooke. About you. I should have protected you more, Claire. The old me would have rushed to comfort her, to make it easier. But now, I just breathe. Outside, the lights shimmer across Elliott Bay. We're finding better ways now, I say honestly. My phone buzzes, a text from Brooke. Still upset about the wedding? You barely reply these days. 3 months ago, I'd have answered immediately. Now, I just place the phone down. I'll respond when I'm ready. I no longer need her approval to feel at peace. Mom, I should go, I say with a smile. Ethan's flight lands at 8. What started as weekly calls turned into weekend visits between Seattle and Boston, not a rescue, but a partnership. He's good for you, Mom says warmly. You stand taller when he's around. It's not just him, I tell her softly. I stand taller because I finally know I deserve to. After we hang up, I move around my apartment, tidying things that don't really need it. This morning, Natalie from my team had lingered after our meeting. My sister keeps undermining me, she said, voice shaking. I don't know how to stop her without wrecking the family. I'd seen that same exhaustion before, my own reflection, years ago. Boundaries aren't walls, I told her. They're just limits. You decide what's okay and what's not. The relief in her eyes had felt like healing, like purpose. The doorbell rings. Ethan's there, smiling that same slightly crooked smile that first caught me under garden lights a year ago. Traffic was brutal, he says, setting down his bag and pulling me into a hug that smells like coffee and cold air. Later, we stand on the balcony, his arm warm around my waist, city lights sparkling below. Inside, the small velvet box sits open on the table, an emerald ring surrounded by tiny diamonds. Green suits you best, he'd said at dinner. Did you see Brooke's card? He asks, nodding at the vase of lilies. Her short note, simple, polite, no hidden jabs, had surprised us both. 70 guests, right? Like we planned? Ethan asks. I turn to him, smiling softly. Should we invite Brooke? The night air smells of rain and new beginnings. I think of who I was, and who I've become. Yes, I say finally. Not because I've forgotten. But because I've grown. He kisses my forehead. My sister once tried to make me feel small, I say, looking out at the glowing city. She only ended up showing me how big my life could be. Inside, I slip off my heels and walk barefoot across the cool floor, no longer running from anyone. Not even myself.